Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Who else would it be? Yeah, so this is kind of like day 2. I think it's day 3, but for me it's day 2 of Everquest Legends. Yeah, I'm level 20. Things have kind of gone mostly as planned. I'm hoping to finish up the wizard stuff today. At the moment I'm being auto-granted the wizard ports for free. I'm not sure if there are any that I need to buy, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's going okay. Level 20. I thought maybe I'd be a bit further along, but I mean, literally, there's no rush. Apart from myself kind of getting into, you know, like old retro gaming and stuff. I'm not really playing anything else, so it doesn't really matter. And we've got quite a while to Kunark. Yeah, but things are kind of progressing mostly as I had a little plan. I think the only difference was that I went and got the shrink item from Blackburrow because it was getting on my tits running around here as a full-size ogre. So I've kind of done that earlier than I was going to. While I was there, I got the hardened bark breastplate as well, which is all right. It's all right for now. My weapons are still pretty crap. I've got the enchanted mace from the is it sheer necromancer? The necromancer in here. The broader with the armor on, the I can't remember her name. And so it's pretty much gone. I've picked up some pristine leather bits as well. But my plan today is just to get the levels to sort the wizard out, and then we're going to go and yeah, pick our main trio. I think cleric's going to be swapped for shaman, honestly. Yeah, cleric's not really doing a whole lot for me, so I'm thinking that I might swap that for the shaman. So it'll be warrior, shaman, enchanter. I know there's a bit of overlap between the shaman and the enchanter, but it is what it is. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. I think the only thing that I want to do before, because obviously going back to level 10 with the equipment I've got, it's kind of a little bit of a twink thing going on, which is good. I want to get the haste belt from Nagina before I go down to 10, and I want to get a Baron's blade as well. And then once we've got all the wizard ports, yeah, they've been I've got G-Fay, Tox, and North Karana so far. It's handy. North Karana was handy because I could just snip over to Blackburrow and get the shrinky thing. Okay, let's deal with this dude. Oh, I was fighting a priest just now, and I thought to myself, I'll quickly load up a stun, which I haven't done. That's all right. It will start casting greater healing now, about now, basically. But you can generally burn it down. But if I had a stun, it'd be a lot easier. It's just a waste of mana, really. Like the wizard is like really carrying the trio, like DPS wise at the moment. Like hardcore. Oh come on. Yeah, like hardcore carrying the trio. I think it's probably because my weapons are not that great. Once I get a Baron's blade, hopefully the white damage will improve, because that's going to be my main form of damage. That and shaman dots and enchanter pets and probably enchanter nukes. It's probably going to be my main forms of damage. So I don't know, it works fine. It's just yeah, wizard is like the what's it called? Garrison's mighty mana shock is doing a lot of damage. 285 basically. Except for widow wisps, strangely. Or maybe not strangely. It's they resist all the shit they resist pretty much. Willow wisps on here have been made so that you don't need a magical weapon to hit them, but their spell resistances are through the roof. I thought she spawned next. I think I might have ignored that dude because he was a priest, maybe. I just recently got a Tashan's Clash will use that because it's a. I think it's a stun. It's a hefty stun as well, 5 seconds. So that will deal with the priests. Kahaptra, or whatever her name is, she drops the Pillage Enchantment wand, which, according to everyone, is very, very good. I guess if you haven't got anything to dispel stuff with, it's very good. There's an enchanter, I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I mean, you kill her anyway, so you might as well get it. I'm not sure if there's an AA for spell stuns. I know there's one for thingy stuns, I think. So we will... Oh, hasn't started casting... Ah, didn't even start casting the Greater Healing there. Boom. That was a nice easy kill. Level 20. I'm trying to remember what level Baron is. I think it might be 28. I could probably kill him now. But I'll carry on the XP. The XPs. We'll get his sword before we drop Wizard. Fine steel longsword. What have I got? Ooh. I'm only using a bronze longsword at the moment. So let's... the attunement stuff's kind of a bit weird if you're used to classic, obviously, because I can't now sell that bronze longsword, which seems a bit odd. You know, I'm not sure I'm too keen on that effect, that mechanic, but there you go. Little ogre dude. Still looks mostly naked. I know they've got plenty of other stuff to do, but I'm going to appreciate the fact that you can get like robes on the ogres now. Which I have got. Let's just show you. Boom! Look at that. Nice. I don't want that. Yeah, it's only that the ogre fashion quest with leather armor and cloth armor and stuff is just horrible. So I'd like to get some plate bits ASAP, just to cover the poor guy's legs. I mean, I know he probably doesn't feel his big chunky legs, big chunky stupid ogre. No feeling at all probably, but that's not the point. Baron's over there through that door. I don't remember what level he is. We'll have a look. Let's go and have a look, shall we? What's the easiest way around? Let's kill this rogue. I was thinking to myself yesterday, I was wondering, because there's a lot of AAs to help as well, and I think there's some other classes that have got AAs that help direct damage spells as well. I was kind of wondering how good wizard damage would be from a sustainability point of view against a you know, like an innie or something or whatever, or a dragon. I'm not sure. Not sure. It's nice at this level, though. Nice at this level. There's a couple of AoEs as well, but they're not really, you know, unless you're putting a load of low-level stuff. Like using it for these two, it would be a waste of time. Waste of time and mana. Let's swap those around. I'm sure someone said that if you're dual wielding, the one with the highest ratio should go in the offhand, but I don't know how true that is. I need haste is what I need. I need some sort of haste. Things. I need to improve my white damage. Let's get full mana. You don't need to sit, I don't think, actually. I just habit of sitting, which I don't think you need to do. What's nice about the cleric, I've got greater healing already, which pretty much sorts it all out. There's also a new zone. I say new zone, like new Seb. They've opened up a bit of the new Seb Ixar's new starting place, and it's got some stuff. The Kerans have been made a thing as well for all you fairies. If you want to play a cat, there's a nice necklace over there I saw, which I think is it's like a regen, hit points, mana, and stamina regen necklace. So I might try and get over there for that. I think it's about rangers. They do a lot of bloody damage. I've just realised also my specialised evocation is going up. I don't really want it to. So, is it 50 that it released? Is it 50 that it reaches? And I didn't really want that. I wonder if I can change that in some way. Bugger. I'd rather alteration, honestly. Is 50 the cut-off point where that then becomes your specialisation? I think it might be. Oh well. Oh well. Yes, the Baron says 28 Paladin and 25 Warrior. Oh, I don't need to kill him now. Let's just keep leveling. There is a dude around here as well. He's got a dagger that's supposed to be quite good. I picked it up a couple of times when I killed him in beta, but I didn't really see what it was like. I could probably use it for something. Sitting again, just out of habit. I've got a ton of AAs that I haven't spent as well. I bought the couple that increase your melee avoidance by a couple of % each. That's it so far. If I do go shaman, I'll probably get a quick buff, obviously, but it's probably a good one to get anyway. Yeah, I think there's some people that might be 50 already. Maybe, I'm not sure. There is, yeah. 2 of them are paladin. Hello. Oh, he just backstabbed me twice, did he? For 168 each. Fucking hell. It's like a double attack backstab. Shit. Shit. Yeah, so Monk Enchanter was one of the I was going to say the meme builds. Not really. It's just like, it's like the meta kind of thing. Power Shaman WIZ, though. Using WIZ at 50. It's interesting. And Plane of Fear. All ogres. That's interesting. I guess people were absolutely fed up with the what's it called? Just the stuns, I reckon. I reckon people thought, screw that. I'm going to play an ogre. The pathing is still a nightmare. But I guess maybe that's just how it's going to be, essentially. I had a quicker stun than you did. Not sure how much these sell. What's the price of these? 2 plat. Okay. I don't think you need to merge these pillage wands. I can't imagine it. There's no stat. There are no stats on it. I don't know if it lowers the cast time. No, it doesn't. So I'm just looting them to sell. 2 plat each. Had a couple of people, other people, tell me they've started playing it and having fun. It really is kind of like a bit of a breath of fresh air, I suppose. Fired into like vanilla Everquest, you know, if you were looking to still play it and you were looking for something different. There's so much to do as well. As I said before, I'm not sure how long I will play it for. Definitely through Kunark and get epics and stuff. But I think it all depends what happens after that. I guess, yeah, I mean, to get to 50 already, obviously, you know, people work out the ways, best ways to go, etc., etc. But you really must have poop socked it to do that, I reckon. That's pretty crazy. Not quite sure what's through that door. I did go through there once. I can't remember what's there. So the Shadow Knight's harm touch took about 15% of my hit points off. I'm so glad for the auto sell. I don't know about anyone else. It's like there's so much crap otherwise. Hey mate, how you doing? Yeah, just so much rubbish. You have to keep going back to the bloody town every 5 minutes. Like a lot of people just must not know about the wiki. The wiki's pretty decent actually. It's got a lot of the new mobs on with itemization and stuff. Always through this door. Don't know if there's a named around here. I haven't done the maps. It's got maps that are populated with dungeons. It looks like a ranger, a shadow knight. No, just some normal dudes by the looks of it. Saying that though, I don't know if it's got all the mobs on here. Hasn't got the hasn't got the Baron on there yet. Oh, heck, I wonder if I can. I've made a massive cock up there. I wonder if I can reset my specialisation. Because I think it's 50 locks it in, doesn't it? So I've locked in evocation, which considering I'm not going to be a wizard soon, that seems like it's a bad idea. And I'm probably not going to be casting any evocation spells. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, actually, if I just auto sell them, I get 2 plat, which is 6 gold less than it's worth, but that's all right. Not a problem. Yeah, I'm playing in 4K, so I know all the menus are small. I do apologise for that. If you want to see know anything, just give me a shout. Apparently you can scale the UI now, which I haven't done yet. I need to look at that. Fucking wizard spells. Boom. As I was saying, the wisps are like pretty much almost immune. Like I wasted. I thought it was just. I'm just being unlucky. But I kind of wasted a whole bar of mana on one wisp because you just kept resisting. I thought this can't be right. Just keep doing it. Definition of madness. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I think, I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't changed any of the. As soon as I logged into beta, I didn't change any resolution or anything at all. It just seemed to set itself to the monitor's resolution. That used to happen. I'm not sure if it's a similar what's it called? A similar version of Everquest, but that used to happen to me on P99. If I changed the resolution while I was in game, it would lock up. So what I used to do is go into the ini file for the game. Where did he come from? Go into the ini file for the game and change the resolution in there. Yeah. All right then. All right. Let's put defensive stance on. I don't think I'm going to win this fight with white damage. So, is there a mana regen in combat one? I think there probably is. I'm trying the little dancing thing a little bit. I was kind of quite used to it from another game, so it's not too much of a. I don't find it too much of an issue really. All that mana she's got left. Shit. Come on, surely you can kill her. She's going to heal her. Thank God for that. Oh, you smoke. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I used to have the same problem on P99, whereas if I went into game. But when I changed it through the ini file, it used to just load in fine. Let's change stance. See if it regens mana quicker. It says it does. I'm trying to think where the next spawn is. I think it's going to be in the middle. I think we're all right here. I just have to turtle him down. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm only using Wizard until 25, I think, to get the ports. Then I'll be swapping to Enchanter. Oh, look how much slower spells take to cast with inversion off. Woo. Good random regen though with this stance. What's it called? Recovery Invocation. Okay. Let's just finish him off and rest. Get it done. I like the way also that they've kind of made some of the stuff you would normally sell. It's probably not going to be relevant for long, but some of the stuff you would normally sell to a vendor, like some of the rings, you know, you've got a couple of AC on them. That's quite good. Priest of a Spear. I like that shield as well. Is that Mistmore shield? I can't remember what that is. I think it is. Is there interface? Oh, UI scaling. Oh, okay, I won't do it now, but you can. I'll play around with that later. So it's got UI scaling and UI text filtering. Okay. Cool. I do like, because I've got quite a nice big screen. I don't mind, like, for playing. Obviously, for streaming for you guys, it's probably not as much fun. But for playing, I quite like it like this because I can still see a lot of the screen. And I like to have my, for some reason, I like to have my inventory open, but it doesn't take up too much space. Let's change back to inversion, I think. And offensive stance. One thing I noticed, and like I guess I can see why Paladin is like flavour of the month, is I don't have Spellblade stance. I guess it's only knights that get that, or hybrids maybe. I think that's the one that turns your first spell slot into a proc. Probably be better for later on when you've got more decks, so it procs often. Yeah, here's this talisman. I know you can't see it, but like this talisman you get from over at the Keren place. This is +8, and it's +10 across all the regens. So it was 10 across all the regens: hit points, mana, and endurance. I'm going to go and get one of those. Maybe before we swap to WIZ. I think it's relatively easy to get. I'm not sure if it's a quest or not. But yeah, that's nice. Talisman of Kejar Keraf. Or Kejar Keraf. Right, waiting with the stun. I'm waiting with the stun. Stun. Boom. Woohoo. Stunned and nuked. Oh, so that talisman is a Keren noob quest. You get this Hamid's Ring of Tears as well, which is 21 mana, 21 endurance, and lots of saves. Okay. So if it's Keren, like I'm Ogre, but I'm non-toxic, whatever that is. I'm neutral. I'm agnostic. That's it. That's what I was looking for. I still don't know if they'll talk to me though. But I guess if I swap, when I swap to Enchanter, I can go and do it then, because I think you get a human illusion. You get some illusions early on. I saw one earlier actually. It didn't have any armour on though, so I don't know if the Kerens have got the same problem as the as the ogres, where, like, if you get a Karen with some plate armor on, that would look nice, assuming it shows up, of course. Hey mate, how you doing? Boom. Yeah, this is a nice spot, just go round and round. I'll probably give it another cup. I could probably give it 22, and then maybe I'll go and camp the Baron for a bit. Yeah, what I need to do is when I get to 25, I need to check if you're awarded all of the wizard port spells for free, because so far I've been awarded 4 of them. But I wonder if there's others. If there's a few others you need to buy. So I need to probably do the Ixar quest just to get a little bit of faction, so I can buy off of their vendors. As an ogre, agnostic ogre, I probably could go to Neriak. I could go and see if they kill me or not in the spellcasters building. They might not actually. A bit sniffy though, aren't they? A bit sniffy, dark elves. You never know. You never know. My strength and stamina is always. Oh, did they? Okay, fair enough. Actually, I could probably. Yeah, it's no good to me now because I need to do it soon. I'm sure. Yesterday I saw someone say something about there's an evil cleric spell vendor in. I can't remember if it was one of the common lands or Freeport. I don't know. Um, yeah. The other thing as well is that the agnostic section. Well, fucking Gynock again. What a twat. The agnostic section of my character kind of was a mistake, a bit like specialisation and evocation. And that as an ogre, I normally always choose Ralosec, but I didn't change the option basically. So I wonder if when I change my loadout, if I can re-god myself. I don't know. There should be a way of just 21. What did I get? Oh, well, obviously nothing at 21 because now I'm 21. No, oh yeah, so of course, like for the next 5 levels, I've got to buy the port spells. I've got to buy them because you stop getting the freebies. It's fair enough. I've got his ring, which is 5 agility. It's nothing drastic really. Oh, this rogue's got a staff. How weird. He still backstabbed me for 160 with a fucking staff though. I guess I must have shown my back as I run past. It's a big staff. Okay, I'll have to unlock it then. I just didn't change the option. Like normally I choose Ralosec as an ogre because that's obviously the only one you should be choosing. An agnostic ogre? What was I thinking? Who's next then? I think you get. Did you get? I think you get a free. You get a free race unlock token that you can use at level 11. I think. I'm not sure what one I would unlock. If I was going to be dual wielding all the time, I'd probably unlock Ixar for the fashion quest, probably. But I can't be doing with that two-handed weapon animation they've got. Maybe they can fix that or something. What's in here? Hello. So I didn't realise you could unlock deities either. I know I've kind of like glazed this game a lot, but it really is like if you loved Everquest in any way, and you got burnt out and stuff, and you just wanted to do all the shit yourself, then this is literally just like the best version for you. It is just, there's just so much content. It's unbelievable. Okay, thanks, mate. I will. Yeah, well, I mean, I never played cleric on P99 because it just never interested me. And to be honest with you, it's not really interested me here. I'd much rather be a shaman. Obviously, I don't know if I didn't realise that from the start. So, when I've got all my wizard ports, I'll probably warrior and enchanter. They were locked in basically. Oh, hello. Yeah. But I'll probably change cleric to shaman, ogre shaman. Do the epic all on my own this time. All my own work. That'd be cool. It's cool that you went to wizard druid at the start. I considered that because you kind of do all the ports in one run, and then swap to your main trio or whatever, you know. Although it sounds like druid was maybe one of your main choices anyway. I've seen a lot. I mean, it shouldn't matter, but I've seen a lot of people say that druid just doesn't feel as strong as the shaman at the moment. Which I guess it was always the way, like in classic P99, you know. Nice ports and stuff. Loads of good tools. I think once we run into Kunark, you know, things will just get even more fun. These guys are beating the shit out of me. Fucking hell. Stop healing yourself. I put defensive on, and you know the damage almost stops, pretty much. I wonder how that works with, like, I guess they're not in game yet, are they? Actually, saying that though, I'm still taking a shit ton of damage. Not getting hit in the back, am I? Hmm. You switch out of defensive, like my health just my damage. My white damage not great at the moment anyway, but it literally falls off a cliff. The Shadow Knight's swinging. What the hell? Has he got some sort of haste shit going? It's a Shadow Knight. Swing once every... You should be swinging once every 5 or 6 seconds, and that's it. Maybe 3 seconds. He's got a one-handed... Okay. This was not how I was expecting this fight to go. It keeps dotting me out. Yeah, Bard seems to be super powerful. Warrior Bard WIZ, yeah. I need to get some more mana back quick. I want to come out of defensive stance, but I just haven't got the haven't got the hit points for it. He's 25 though, I suppose. I didn't expect the fight to be this tough though. Stop tapping me, you bastard. Put myself up against a wall, I think. I think there's an AA for bards where you can just have 4 songs twisting or playing constantly, basically. Yeah, Bard WIZ Enchanter was something that I looked at. I just thought that would be so interesting. You got like something for every. You got an answer to everything almost. The only thing I wasn't sure about really was, I mean, I have seen some people kill, like in the beta, there were some people who killed like Innie and stuff with just like twisting Bard damage. It seemed. Yeah, but something like that would look really interesting. Let's nuke him. Wow, that was shit. That didn't go. I was expecting it to go. Nice fight though. I like the fact that I had to muck around with stances. I'll get okay. Yes, see, I was kind of thinking to myself, like it would be fun just to have all of the spellcasters, or say all of them, like I don't know, Mage Enchanter Necro or Mage Enchanter WIZ or something. But I think if you swap one for the Bard, I think it basically all comes together, doesn't it? I guess there's a lot of crossover with Bard and Enchanter, but you need something to heal yourself. So, hey mate, how you doing? There's a whole host of entertainment to be had just by looking at the chat. You know, you get like a lot of the usual nonsense you get, etc. But yeah, it's funny. You know, it's funny that you get like I've seen a load of people who going, oh yeah, I'm an old head, blah 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 blah. But they I don't know, they don't seem to have really played Everquest since, you know, for 20 years or whatever. Yeah, and then they come in and they haven't played Everquest for 20 years. They come in, they start slagging off modern MMOs and, ooh, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's quite funny. Yeah, I've been one-shotting the casters with garrisons. That was really fun. I haven't upgraded it yet, mate, actually. I've kind of holding off on upgrading spells until, like, for Enchanter, like Mesmerization, I'll just level that all the way straight away. But, hey, Liz, how you doing? Yeah, yes, going all right. I'm 21. I think I'll go get to 25 with the WIZ to get all the ports before I swap over. I'm on Eridin, and I believe that the 2 Euro servers are 2 of the lowest population. Well, they are the 2 lowest population ones, which I'm quite surprised about. But then I thought about it and thought to myself, well, actually, probably not, because I think what's happening is there will be a number of Euro players who have started on one of the American servers. Is she going to aggro? Fucking pathing. Why don't you just run straight towards me, you twat? Honestly. Yeah, I think yeah, a lot of Euro players will probably play on one of the what, garrisons? Okay, mate, cool. I've put no points in it, but a couple of times I've had a crit with it as well, I think. Those rangers do so much fucking damage. It's unbelievable. So much more than all the other classes. He's trying to keep the Shadow Knight alive now, though. Quite like that. The AI is pretty decent, actually. It's all red damage, though. They do tons of red damage. I get a red damage in melee damage. Yeah, it's tons of damage. They're almost as worse as the clerics, because the clerics cast great to healing on themselves, but that takes up a lot less mana. Where this thing casts light healing, it spams it sometimes. There we go. I need to get a Baron's Blade soon. It spams it sometimes. Red damage, sorry, melee damage. You know, like white damage for players. I don't know why I said red damage. 46, 46, 46, 46, 46, 33. Dual wielding bastards. I called it red damage, but I guess all enemy damage is red, isn't it? I guess even spell damage. I was wondering how stances, not stances, what they're called, like the abilities will work. So, like, I wonder if warrior still gets their, what they called. I can't remember what they're called. Would it get defensive still? And I mean, it's already got a defensive stance, but will it get defensive? And will it be? How will it work? Will it still be the same? Might be an AA which you can increase the power of, actually, like they've done with the other skills. That'd be good. Well, yeah, I was just fighting a Shadow Knight. I mean, he had a one-handed weapon, but literally it was perma swinging. You know, like when you get high level and you've got haste on a couple of, you got haste on an item and you've got haste cast on you and stuff. And you're dual wielding, double attacking, and you're constantly swinging. He was a bit like that. It's like, the hell. Ah, okay. I think we're going to have to do that. I think there's a little quest outside where you have to turn in metal bits. I guess you have to make them as a blacksmith, maybe. But someone said if you turn in 50, I think you can buy spells and stuff from them. That was the. Yeah. There seems to be some quick swings. Although now this rogue, weirdly, is kind of. The Shadow Knight I was fighting was just swinging. I was going to go to Crush, actually. There's a couple of bits I want to pick up. What I found was once I got to 30-ish and I got into Lower Guck, the leveling was so fast that, like, I'm not even sure, unless it's quite a useful item, I'm not even sure if I'm going to go and camp some low level stuff, because I just think that, you know, once you get into your 40s and you can faff around with the dragons, get to 46 and do planes and stuff, I'm not sure if it's worth worrying about gear too much before then. Just enough stuff to get there. I'd like to go and get a ruby sight breastplate. I'm not sure if they're removing it like the old days, but I'd like to get one of those to wear. So I want to actually, what I want to do, just from a Fashion Quest point of view, is cover up some of my ogre's skin with plate armor. I think somehow wizard spells just drop them big. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can get a breastplate. I think you can get all the bits, actually, but I'll probably just get a breastplate. I won't muck around there too much. Probably not even a difficulty 4 one. I'll just get one and move on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fucking Gynox, pain in the arse. Oh, it wasn't Gynox. Where did you come from? I'm not sure if they've addressed it or if they're going to, or if, as in spoken about it, or if they're going to, but there's a real issue with pathing, but also like walls. So as an ogre, if I sit, sometimes if I certain walls, if I sit down next to the wall, a mob behind the wall can see me basically. So there are some of those buggy issues. I was wondering what client they used. I wonder if it was the P99 one or if it was the Qualm one. I'm not sure. Or none of those. It can't be a Daybreak one. They don't have a client like this, do they, anymore, I don't think. 'Stun, quick. Ugh. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I thought live clients were just shit. I remember the last time that, I don't think it was Daybreak necessarily, but whoever was running it before, they tried to do like a classic thingy server, progression server, and it just looked shit. Like it still had all the zones tied together, locked together, so there was no zoning. Like Inner Full Swamp was the new one, all that sort of shit. So I didn't even realise that they would have an old one, honestly. I must have reworked it a lot. Boom. Is this a good fight? Yeah, you're right. 17 points. I should use them at some point. Considering I'm not 100% settled on my... I'll worry about it when... Just get this wizard stuff out of the way. And I'll worry about it then. I think I will take change to Shaman. I'm not a big fan of clerics, really. Nice healing, but I think when they lost complete heal, and they was given like a budget complete heal. Although, like, complete heal was always brilliant with charm pets. So I wonder if that new heal is probably good. Just cast it early. Oh, someone's got a Mithril two-hander. That's a haste one, isn't it? I think. Yep. To get that. Just as a two-hander while you're in Guck, might as well. I was going to try two-handed. I haven't really got a good one yet. I've got the one that footman drops. What's it called? Silver-plated war sword. Yeah, they've got a new version of Complete Heal. Which is basically I didn't switched inversion off there. What the hell? Yeah, it's like I think after 8 you cast it, and after 18 seconds it heals you for 5,000. So it's kind of, you know, at the moment, I'm sure in Kunark people's hit points will go above that. But it's kind of like a complete heal, but you have to, yeah, you have to just do it in arrears, in advance, I guess. Might be worth it, mate. I was kind of wondering if the Wizard's translocations are in. Because I guess it'd be quite fun just chucking someone somewhere if they want to go somewhere, you know. It doesn't seem as though making plat on this server is particularly important, really. So you probably won't be doing any porting or anything for plat, unless they change something, of course. Maybe, I don't know if people can buy or sell motes at the moment, but yeah. And apart from spells, no, complete heal on P99 it was like immediate, wasn't it? I guess its cast time was a bit longer. So Daisy, where did she come from? Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'll probably still buff people on the, you know, I'll still go around buffing people. That's one of the things I used to enjoy doing the most on P99. Yeah, it's probably. I think the casting time was a bit higher, and it's probably had a bit of a longer cooldown, didn't it? But this one, you cast it like on yourself, but and then you have to wait for 18 seconds before the healing happens. So I don't know what the cooldown with it is on P99, but I don't think it was 18 seconds though, was it? Because if it was, it's kind of the same. It's not a complete heal because it's limited hit points wise, but it's kind of reversed. Chuck some buffs on. You're going to come and hit me? I thought you would. Morning, mate. How you doing? The other thing that I was interested in is how they make. It's like when I was playing, I thought to myself, I wonder how they make clarity useful, like mana regen, etc. And it is slower on here than Hero's Journey. I'm pretty sure. Like if I go out of mana, I do have to wait a little bit for it all to come back. It doesn't just instantly come back. But like clerics still get resurrection spells. I'm not quite sure. I guess if you're on a raid and you die, maybe it wouldn't be sensible to respawn at the entrance and run in, I guess. If you're with someone else, even if you're deep in a dungeon in a group, I guess if you die, you know. Less relevant if you're not grouping, but I guess still kind of relevant. Oh, we need to remember to get J boots, and we need to remember to get the haste belt from Naj. Fine steel two. No, we'll sell that. Right, let's go over the other side. I think there's a named or so over there, so we will. Wait, how many mobs do we get there? They're all blue anyway. Oh, 4. Let's chuck defensive on. Kill the caster first. Them's the rules. Yeah, I guess that's why they included the new Sebalis thing. Like there's a nice easy quest to get faction with new Sebalis, so you can. I mean, I wonder if it's worth even. Maybe just it's probably not worth just. Yeah, because the Ixars have got all of the spell vendors basically. So once you can get in there and buy your spells, it kind of. I guess if you're a wood elf though or whatever, and you're in the other side of the. I guess that's probably why. Like if you're, I guess that's probably why they give you spells up to level 20. So by level 20, you know, you can travel somewhere and get them. You can sneak as well. I think you can probably do it with, I guess if you're agnostic, maybe you can do it with illusion as well, you know. Hey mate, how you doing? Thanks a lot. Huh? Those fuckers sidestep and aggro the will-o-wisp. I'm sure they did that on purpose. Little shits. I think you do get some of them, but unless they've changed it, like my enchanter in beta got a human one, some other ones as well. Wood elf one, I think, like for free. So you got to level it up, obviously. Is it? Yeah, but someone earlier on said they used the XR illusion, but it still didn't work. But that was probably because of the deity thing. So my guy's currently not agnostic, so maybe it'll work. Yeah, I don't know if you get all of them, but you definitely get human illusion, like auto, and I'm pretty sure I've got some others as well. XR one, I'm not sure about. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I'm not killing that bloody. Let's get rid of this first. Jesus Christ. Like, if I had a damage shield at the moment, these mobs would be long dead. It's constant hits. Hit, 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 hit. Okay, oh, here we go. Will-o-wisp still 84%. There you go. Will-o-wisps. Pointless casting. Even when they're blue, it's pointless casting spells on them. They've got resist out the wazoo. It's funny because you get used to like I do get moments sometimes when I'm playing where I want to be as efficient as I can, and sometimes like just killing 5 blues is like, oh, this is so annoying. Just get out of the way. But actually, I got 1.6 1.6% experience for those. So that's each. So it's not bad. Hey, mate, I'm fine. Yeah, still, things have been a bit rough recently. I did book a doctor's appointment, but I'm not sure if I'll go. Yeah. My wife wants me to go because I think occasionally, when you get to a certain age, I'm not sure if it's in the UK anyway, you have to go for these health checks and stuff. And I don't actually really think that they do a lot. Like they take your blood pressure and your blood glucose and stuff. I'm not sure if they do, like for men, I'm not sure if they do like free prostate cancer checks or all that kind of stuff. That's probably something worth looking into, though I don't really get any symptoms for that, you know. No, Lyme was like I have to be honest, and it's probably not a good thing, but I did fall into the thing of just getting on with it really and managing it myself. I did go to my doctor. The problem is I went to my doctors when I was first sick. I went to my doctors and said, look, these are all these things that people who are similar to me, and this is a list of things they were tested for, and many of them discovered that they had these things that helped. Maybe it didn't cure them all, but it kind of helped, you know. Yeah, so, and they just wouldn't do it. The thing I discovered about, like, people going about the NHS and how it's free and it's great and all that kind of thing, and it is for certain things. Maybe it's not as great as it used to be because of funding or whatever it may be. But I've said this before, but my feeling, my assumption, I guess everyone has this assumption until they actually go. My assumption was when you're sick, you go there and they do tests till they find out what it was. Obviously, there's going to be some rare stuff, super rare, where they just, there hasn't been enough testing or whatever. But like what I've got's not super rare. It's just there's never been any testing. And you go there, and when they say, so what happens is it's like, it's almost like a script. It's almost like scripted. So you go there, the doctor, your GP follows a script. They send you to the hospital. They follow a script. If they don't find what they're supposed to find on the script, they go, yeah, sorry, we can't help you. Or worse, they say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. Yeah. And that's how it is. It's not how I thought it was. I said it to my doctor and she agreed with me actually. Like I said to her, it's not what I thought it was. I just thought you went to the doctor and eventually someone found out what was wrong with you. And she said that's not how it works. Like she's come across a lot of people in the past who they go to the hospital do tests, the hospital can't find anything, and so you're just left to get on with it, essentially. So there's a whole rack of illnesses out there that are underfunded and undiscoverable. But the thing is, what was annoying was, and I guess this is the one good thing about the US, for example, is that I spoke to some people in the US, and like while it costs them money, obviously, you know, they would go to a doctor and say, "Can you test me for this list of stuff, please?" And the doctor just goes, "Yeah, sure, no problems. It will cost you X amount." But here, you can pay for it, but then you kind of, because you're paying taxes for it, you're almost like paying twice, you know. So it's yeah. Yeah, it is like I mean, I think there was, or there still is, a lot of good stuff you can say about the NHS, but it has become it is a thing where everything is really scripted. There's no doctors are not allowed any, like they can't like they can't just like freeform it, go with it, because they're stuck as well. It's like if I was my doctor said if I could, this is what I would do for you, but I can't, because the system says to me, this is all I can do for you. And that's, that's how it was. 12 years later, here we still are. And that was a pretty boring name, doesn't it? That was. Now I'm killing blues. I'm going to go back to the other place. I don't think there's anything here. It does make you more conscious of your body, though, because I called a doctor recently, and I've got an appointment in a week's time on the phone. Because I'm assuming that's the soonest they could do it for whatever reason. But the only reason I phoned them is because the symptoms I've been getting are the same as what I've always had for 12 years. I said to my wife, I just don't want to do this. It's a waste of time. They'll send me somewhere, they'll poke me about, and they'll just say, oh, there's nothing wrong. Like if I could go to the doctor and say, look, I'm 55, so I'd like to be just tested for some of the common serious illnesses that men get as they get older. Do that. Great. You're all right. Off you go. And I'll just carry on with what I've been doing. But I don't think that will happen. It's, as I said, I'm not sure if there's like there's like a prostate screening like there is for breast screening. I will look into that. I'm not sure if there is, because like Jeremy Clarkson recently got it, and they caught his like really early, and they've treated it, and I think everything's fine. But he was saying that if you go to the doctor and they won't test you, or if you feel that they won't, like just lie, basically, just say you've got the symptoms, which leads me to believe that there's no general screening for it like there is for breast cancer. But yeah, something I'll look into. But I think for like breast cancer, they just do it, don't they? Like you can just go along and get it done, I'm pretty sure. But there doesn't seem to be like anything like that for prostate. So as he said, you almost have to go to the doctor and tell them you've got symptoms, even if you haven't, just to get a test, I don't know. Well, there's a blood test now, because I think there's a blood test now instead of what they used to do. Well, he said he had a blood test anyway. I'm not sure if that's because he went private or whatever. I think he went to his local hospital, but I'm not sure. I'm assuming he's got private, but I'm sure he definitely had a blood test for it now. So I don't think they test in the same way. Maybe, not sure. Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure he said there's a blood test now that he had for it. The other thing as well is it's as someone who's been sick for a long time and has researched so much stuff. It's just frustrating because I know I'll go there and they'll just ignore everything I say about everything, basically. Because it doesn't follow their script. Because a friend of my wife's recently, her husband had cancer and he died of it. But during the process, it wasn't that long ago, but during the process there was this I can't remember the name of the drugs, but ivermectin was one of them, and another drug that they'd been using was showing like really good results, even for stage 4. And I said to her, look, just tell him to ask, and I think they did mention it, but the doctor wouldn't provide it or whatever. So if it was me, the thing is, if I ever got cancer, I would probably just try and treat it on my own anyway, because all they will do is just give you you know, I mean, cancer treatments at the moment, for all the funding or whatever's gone into it, are still pretty shocking. I mean, you've got treatments that essentially might either make your quality of life really bad or kill you in the process, and that's the only way they can currently get rid of it. You know, it's just not. I think if it was me, I would privately get those two drugs, and I would do more of like I kind of try to do it as much as I can anyway, but I'm not 100%. But there's a number of cancers that feed off of like sugar and stuff, so I would immediately go on a carnivore diet, like 100% carnivore. Well, defensive stance essentially means I can stand here and laugh at them, but holy smoke, it's like what. I have to switch stance. Just redoing some mana back while they hit me. I do have a damage shield for the wizard actually, but it's like a couple of damage. Well, it was still the same. Like my mum's partner went through it. He died as well. Only last year or so, and yeah, and the treatment was almost just not worth it in the end. There's also been some shocking. Oh really? Oh god. There's also been some shocking like misses, like both of my mum's partner and my wife's friend's partner. It was basically missed somehow. Like they had operations, they had chemo, everything was all right, but then only a couple of days later it wasn't all right, and stuff had just been missed. Yeah, the actual quality of care as well is shocking. Was shocking for both of them. Obviously, you can't tell some people, they're going moaning about the NHS. NHS is great, etc., etc., and I'm sure it is. You know, if you're lucky. What I hate about it now is the whole thing around science in general. About science has become a political thing. It's become a thing where this is the science and that's it, which is ridiculous. Like when you speak to proper scientists say science is never done in any area. It's never it's never that. It's never just this is a science and that's what you have to follow. It's always there's always questions that should be asked, etc. But now it's just become this is the science. This is what you have to follow. God blimey, Liz, you've been through the wars. So much red tape as well. You know, you still get adverts on TV for cancer research and the billions going into that. And it's like, well, look, you know, recently there's a couple of drugs that seem to be doing really well. Why don't you get some of those in? And it's like, oh yeah, well, one of the drugs was mentioned during COVID, so that's got a that's all right. That's far right. Ivermectin is far right. You know, Trump used that. We can't get that. You know, I mean, the red tape is just bullshit. Just get it and try it. Yeah, it's going to cost money, but then yeah, whatever. You must get some doctors that get like frustrated by it, as my old doctor did. You know. Yeah, location in the UK, it varies even, doesn't it? I'm sure you'll get some hospitals that are amazing. I mean, not so much now. I haven't really seen my current doctor at all. Well, I haven't seen them, like, since we moved. I haven't seen them at all. But yeah, my old doctor was pretty upfront. Well, this is not how I expected things to be going. I should have just stayed on my little yellow rotation instead of running around pulling loads of blues and running out of mana and now trying to keep myself alive. Relying on my my weapon damage to kill things. That is not good. Still, we're getting there. It must be Berserk by now, but I don't think I've done any crits. No. Well, I haven't got the mana for it. I'm waiting for... I've got the mana regen stance on. So I'm barely hanging in there. Even with defensive, I don't know what I'm taking the damage from, but Jesus Christ, I'm still taking a ton of damage. Yep. I think we're kind of all right now. Just about. I think I'm going to go and get that haste belt at some point today. I'll show you in a second. I'm just using one that came with it, actually. I just changed some stuff from the main menu. I'm not sure what one this is called. But it's a built-in one, so... I would never kill this guy. It would take ages. I'm going to swap back to offensive stance in a minute. Because if I get my hit points under control. Let's try it. Well, I've got 105 hit there. Chuck another greater healing on. Boom. I like flipping between the stances. Adds a nice tactical element. I know we were talking about, the last stream was talking about Everquest 3, like what would you like, or what would you change to classic Everquest? I don't mind the stancing, actually. To add a bit of you couldn't really have defensive as it is because it's ridiculously OP, but maybe it's different. Maybe these stances but toned down for P99. That'd be quite interesting. Okay, well, that was a waste of time. We'll stick to our yellows, our single yellows. Sorry, let's have a look at the interface. So default modern. is my skin that I'm currently using. And textures, I've gone for alternate 3, which I believe gives you the old classic spell gems. And I'll just move them around basically. I always like to create like a individual chat boxes for my damage and mob damage. Normally have ones for skills, but skills go up so quickly. As soon as you level, it kind of maxes your skills almost. So let's put inversion back on. That inversion's nice. Every if you click off inversion, you think to yourself, is that really how long spells take to cast? Holy shit. Oh, can you imagine? I'm not sure if it's the same in America, but it's so embarrassing being British at the moment. I think it's like I was watching that interview with Elon Musk where they picked another fucking Karen. They must just sit there with a script and they say, "What questions are you going to ask?" And they must play like politics bingo. It's like, have you got far right down? Have you got alt right down? Yes. Have you got Nazi down? Yes. Have you got toxic masculinity? Oh yeah, I've got all those words. Don't worry, I'm going to use all of those. I think every single interview that I've seen him have with someone from the UK is all the same shit. It's just so embarrassing. And I love the way that he said to them, do you realise that people actually hate you? That the mainstream media is hated? And I don't even think that it registered with her. I think they live in this bubble where like they're just right and everyone else is wrong. And it's just so bizarre. I don't know if it's the same in the US or it's a bit more. I guess US is so much bigger. I guess it's a bit more, maybe. But it's so embarrassing. So embarrassed. I was cringing watching it. I was thinking, I wish he wasn't English. Oh, it's horrible. Hello, what's going on here? Let's start resisting. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it's gone through yet because these things get mentioned and they leave it for a bit and they put them, it's like a stealth thing. But there was a thing recently where they were the British government. I think this was Starmer, who's not in, but Burnham's not any better really. But they were they had a consultation with YouTube where they were going to ask YouTube to basically push their ideals on things, their thoughts, what they believed, like in the algorithm. So it's what you were pushed and what you saw. And that's just like shocking. I'm just embarrassed. I'm just so embarrassed by it, Oh, do you know what? I don't know if it's my eyesight, but the amount of games I'm playing recently where I lose the mouse. I can't see the fucking mouse. I've just put it down to an age thing. Yeah, I've heard Canada's pretty bad. I'm not sure if he's in charge anymore, but didn't the Canadian PM, isn't he like going out with Katy Perry or something now or whatever? Something like that. That seems like a weird combination. I mean, I'm not one who cares about age differences or whatever. It just seemed like a weird combination. Oh, thanks, Liz. I'll check that out. Some games I have to move the mouse cursor over to the other screen and then move it back again just so I can tell where it is. Not Ashran's cool. Project Gorgon was one recently. I was thinking to myself, Surely just put in a mouse cursor change thing where you can just like, you know, modify the mouse cursor. But if there's a program that does it, then is Justin Trudeau? Is he still in charge? Is he? It's so funny. It's so funny how things get found out as well, because it's like this thing. You hear this thing. Yeah, I imagine like any celebrity now, I have almost no respect for. There's a few, but not many. Oh, he resigned after he did all the damage. A bit like Starmer. Yeah, there was a thing recently where there was I don't know if it was a leak or something came out that Andy Burnham was going to implement something where if you don't vote, you get fined. So you don't even have freedom of voting now. So you might have to vote. I mean, it's just appalling. George Orwell would be literally turning in his grave. Is turning in his grave, I'm sure. It's just appalling. Wasn't Mark Carney the based one? I think the politicians now in the UK. I was watching something. I was reading something the other day. It was really interesting. It was who was it? It was Peter Hitchens was being interviewed, and Peter Hitchens is a bit like he's not really. This is kind of hard on him, but he's like a posher, more sensible Alec Jones. And that's not fair on him, but I can't think of who else to compare him to for the American listeners. Maybe you've heard of Peter Hitchens, don't know. But he said two things that are absolutely right. He said politicians nowadays do not know how to run a country. They don't have the skill set for it at all, or the common sense. But the other thing that he said as well that was really hit home was that you don't, for voting, the advice that he would give to people is you're not voting for what you want now, you're voting for what you don't want. is the best way of voting. And I actually believe that to be true, because he said that if you vote for someone who tells you they're going to give you what you want, they'll get in power and they won't. So it's pointless. It's a waste of time. And he said the best way to vote at the moment is to vote for stuff you don't want, which might mean voting for people you wouldn't normally vote for, you know, but I don't know. But that did really like hit the funny bone, as it were, or whatever. Where voting for values you want is almost a waste of time because you're not going to get them. The thing is, as well, in the UK, you know, it's got political, but you know, I spend a lot of time sitting around on my own, so I do get quite interested in these things. The other thing as well is that you don't like. Again, I'm not sure if it's like what it's like in America, but in the UK, it's not really. What's the word I'm looking for? You don't have any choices with regards to voting, so it's the choice is so limited that it's not democratic. So we voted to get out the Conservatives for certain things, and Labour came in, who should be the opposite to Conservatives. Like Labour was created by working class people for working class people to give them a voice. It's not that anymore. Like Labour is like so hipster middle class, it's unbelievable. So we voted for the opposite, and they've come in and they've done nothing to change the things that we voted out the last party for. So essentially, there is no choice, because there's no point in voting for a smaller party because they won't get in anyway. So you don't have a choice. There isn't an opposition. I think that really came to light during COVID as well, where people moaned the Conservatives were in and they were terrible and stuff, and they were, but Labour were supporting pretty much all of their policies. So there isn't now an opposition. You don't have someone to vote for who's going to be opposite, even remotely. So, and that's not democratic to me, when the only options you've got are kind of the same. You know, it's So level 22, slowly getting there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at. I mean, Burnham wasn't an MP a few weeks. It wasn't even an MP a few weeks before he got in. Now he's Prime Minister. You know, and it was only done because I think they must have got to a point at Labour where they realised just how hated Starmer was, and so we need a new guy. They didn't have anyone else to choose within the party. I mean, I couldn't imagine like David Lammy or one of the Chuckle twins getting in. They would be even worse. So they've had to just dig this guy up from nowhere, like quickly swear him in as a PM, and yeah, and that's it. And suddenly he's the Prime Minister. It's funny. If only it wasn't so tragic, it'd be funny. And he's like, I mean, you can tell someone's has got no respect for themselves, apart from anyone else. Is that like when the Tories were in, a number of their prime ministers, like he was going, you need to call a general election. This is not fair. They didn't vote for you, etc., etc. And the moment, obviously, it happens to him, he's quite happy to go in and whatever. My feeling was that maybe they had some tactics behind it. So I kind of thought that what would have made sense is that he comes in, he makes some popular changes just to get people back on side, and then he runs an election. That's what I thought would happen. But I don't know. He has changed a couple of the things that weren't popular, but nothing big. Like they were going to implement something where, depending on your crime, you didn't get a jury trial. There was literally some bloke sitting somewhere was just going to make the decision based on reading some paperwork. So they were going to stop jury trials for a lot of crimes. So you wouldn't even get the option of being treated fairly. It would just be someone making a decision. Well, I think he's put that on hold for now. Cost of living, like I'm not sure if it's true, but there was a rumor that they were, again, we're going to do something sensible and open up the oil, open up North Sea oil again and start getting some oil from there. But it hasn't happened yet. We'd rather Norway do it, and then we pay them more for it. That's our logic. So yeah, there's a couple of things that they've talked about, but I don't think they've. But again, then you get the crazy stuff like if you don't vote, you get fined. You see, immigration's under control, but I think it was like the other day, yesterday or the day before alone, like 1,000 people turned up on boats and things. It's just ridiculous. There's the whole state of things. Cost of living is crazy here. Energy prices. We've got the highest energy prices in the world, I think, in the UK. Yeah. It's interesting as well when you look at how the ideology seeps down even to like the level of like a supermarket shop floor. So the massive increase in beef recently, even just minced beef, you go and buy a packet of minced beef, is ridiculous. It's clear they're now trying to control what you eat by like just like pricing stuff out of people's reach. So people who can't afford it just go and feed their kids pasta and rice and shit that's no good for them. Like eggs have been increasing in price a lot. It's just crazy. I don't know. I still, no matter what's happened, there are still. So take my mum for example. Bless her. Right, she she don't care. You know, like I come from a family, a poor working class family, very poor. And she still is, you know, she's not very well off. So she still suffers from the legacy of like poor working class and stuff. But no matter what's happened recently, like she would still vote Labour because obviously she just doesn't know. And someone said that there are still a lot of Labour votes come from the north, I think. And someone said if there was a general election tomorrow, you would still get loads of communities in the north of England who would just vote Labour just because. And I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I think Reform might probably win. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I personally wouldn't vote for Reform for change because I don't think that they would be a change. I kind of think at the moment, like if you're sick of it, this might be particularly popular for some people, I suppose. But if you're really sick of how things are in the UK, the only party that you would it would only be worth voting for if you wanted genuine change would be Restore. But I just think Restore is too small of a party at the moment. It's only really, although it's gained in popularity a lot, it's really only finding its legs. You know, I don't know, like Rupert Lowe, he's a bit fruity in his language that he uses. But that a lot of people are feeling like that. They just don't say it, you know. He's run successful businesses. He's an economist. Yeah, I think that a lot of people won't just because of some of the stuff he says. But I think the only chance you've got a real change would be Restore. But I don't think they would probably get in at the moment. Because I guess to a certain extent they would kind of be fighting with Reform for votes. I guess at the moment to a certain extent. Yeah, like even up until quite recently, like I would vote Labour. It's only been the last election I didn't, and the election before that I just voted for some monster raving loony party types as like a protest, you know, for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, I come from a family where you know, like voting Labour is like support the football team you support. Like you never vote for anyone else. That's sacrilege. But now we've reached that point, you know, where Labour is clearly not for working class people. It's very much a like a middle class midwit, you know, hipster sort of. I know that kind of Andy Burnham's come in and he's a bit more like that, and he wants to move Downing Street up north, you know, and all that kind of thing and whatever. But I don't really think that, you know, Resurrect Churchill. It's not hard. It's like when I've been listening to quite a lot recently. One of them was the Hitchens interview and some other stuff as well. It's not hard. It's not hard to change things. But the people currently in charge don't want to change things. They don't want to stop immigration. They don't want to lower the cost of meat. They don't want to lower the cost of energy. They don't want to. And, you know, it's not hard. It's not hard to get the fuel flowing, like, you know, invest in our own economy through our own. I know Trump was talking about doing it. I don't think he has done, but, you know, our own infrastructure, get ourselves making our own stuff again, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, yeah, yeah, it's yeah, Everquest and British politics, mate. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure I trust them though, mate. You know, I'm not sure I trust them. It's like, because the Italian Prime Minister, she said a few things recently where I've been like, ooh, ooh. The worst thing about being a European country at the moment is obviously European Union. I mean, they've literally got someone in charge at the moment who just comes across like Cruella de Vil. she wasn't voted in by anyone, and she's got all these outlandish, radical ideals about what we should be doing. You hear all sorts of crazy stuff like limiting energy, so your energy is going to be rationed and all this kind of stuff. It's just mental, and no one voted for her or any of them. They just seem to get put in. It's like Bill Gates dictating stuff, or Tony Blair. I didn't vote for you. What are you doing? We used to have a guy called Screaming Lord Such back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, I think it was. And he was the leader of the Monster Raving Loony Party, and he was kind of the person you voted for if you were just fed up enough, you know. it was funny. It was funny. And he would get a small percentage of votes every election, you know. I think Bimface is a bit of a psyop though, because I think he is the creation of some lefty comedian on the BBC. So there's nothing alternative about him. I mean, like, he is the establishment at the moment. Right, so we're level 22. I think, judging by what I've read, I've got 3 levels to go on the wizard. But there's some kit I want to get first. Oh shit, I've actually got to go soon. I didn't realise it. I started streaming a bit later today, but I didn't realise it was so late. It's something I keep hearing all these philosophical phrases as well now that that feel so true. Like, you know, like the one where strong men make. Where does it go? Strong men make hard times make strong men make easy times make weak men make hard times, something like that. Yeah. Hard times make strong men make good times make weak men. And that's essentially where we are. And I can't speak for any country, but in the UK, men are weak. Absolutely do nothing to change anything. Some people have, but obviously they get called far right, and you know. The other one as well, I think it was Winston Churchill who said that after World War II, he said that in the future fascism would return, but it would return in the guise of liberalism. And I think you can definitely see that big time. That is prophetic. That is. It's interesting when you kind of look at how far this stuff goes back as well, because I was like, I've seen some things recently about World War I and II, and they were saying that yeah, like there was a few professors and stuff I saw that a lot of the UK's problems hark back to World War One. It was a war that we never really needed to get involved in, or not in the way we did. You know, so many kind of like bright young men died who were the future of the country. And then World War II came along and pretty much finished us off, essentially. Yeah. I mean, you can link a lot of these issues back to then. Like what it cost us to put things right after the end of the war. I don't know why, but we spent so much money putting Europe right after the war. I can kind of understand it to a certain extent, because I think one of the reasons Hitler got in was because the Germans were treated terribly after World War One, and they didn't want that to happen again. So we invested in Europe and Germany, but really, it wasn't good for us, I don't think. Oh, you get. I mean, that's the other thing as well in the UK. Like on the BBC, particularly, and Sky, there's a load of history revision that they're trying to push. They're trying to push the fact that the history we knew was wrong. They're trying to revise it. Even kids, like you've got kids programs on the BBC teaching kids stuff that just is not true. But they're trying to revise history so that it's how they want it to be. It's just it's pretty bad. I mean, I said to my wife a number of times that if we could go somewhere, we should just go before it gets worse. On so many different levels, like economically, whatever. Like when you see what happened with Spain yesterday, I just don't see how it's going to get any better. Yeah, I don't know if it's being rewritten, isn't it, by people who I guess if you're in power, you're the victors. But yeah. I kind of thought we were reaching a point where maybe things are getting better, but I don't think they are. When I say getting better, I kind of meant in our like geeky sphere, but they're not really. I think things like the Odyssey film have shown that. The recent Halo remake. I don't think things are changing. I don't know where they're getting their money from to keep failing, but yeah, they can keep making this revisionist propaganda-y stuff, and I guess the money's still coming from BlackRock, wherever it may be. It's interesting because the thing with everything sucking is that it's like I saw some videos on YouTube recently. It really pissed me off, and it's by some of you guys, countrymen, fucking Americans, coming over here, making videos, going, "Don't believe what you see about how bad everything is in America, in the UK. We live here and we love it." And they're walking around some nice suburb or whatever where there's no one around. And I did leave a comment at one saying, "Oh, fuck off, you twat." It's just like, it really annoyed me so much. I said, you're belittling people's struggles just because it's fine for you, because everything's fine for you. It's really annoying, really pissed me off, it did. But the thing is like if I get dressed now and go out and I walk up the end of the road and it's sunny and it's all nice and whatever, and it's fine. It's not like people are not, in general, it's not like running battles in the streets and stuff. I mean, there are sometimes in some areas, but it's the things that I guess the things that I notice. It's just cost of living stuff, where you go to the shop and things are overpriced. I like where we live, although it has a knock-on effect around the country, obviously, because the financial issues like spread. Like we don't have a massive issue here with immigration at the moment, but I know friends and people living in London and other parts of the country where it's causing a massive issue. And cost of living again is another thing. Cost of living, energy particularly, food as well now. Certain types of food, trying to get a doctor's appointment. Going to A&E and just waiting for days. It's just it's Yeah, so it's one of those weird things where if you're in a certain part of the country, you wake up, go out your door, and everything's great. You know, you still notice issues, as like cost of living, cost of food, and stuff. But I think the problem is that we're in like everyone's probably watched Wall-E, right? Where I think it's Wall-E, where you got the fat humans sitting in chairs, and they don't do anything all day. They're fed and they watch TV. That's kind of where we are in the UK. Some literally, but some from the point of view of they're completely unaware of what's going on in other parts of the country, in those communities. So we become so insular, and we become so obsessed with not obsessed with we're being fed shit, you know, like Love Island 15 or whatever crap it is that's culturally just retarded that young people are being fed. All these women on there with lips like, I don't know, like fake, like comedy lips, and men with looks maxing or whatever it is they're doing. It's just shocking how culturally we've regressed we are. In the UK, fucking gave you the Beatles and Shakespeare and Dickens, and it's just crazy the sort of crap that you get on TV. Michael McIntyre, I see people in America reacting to Michael McIntyre and laughing and stuff. He's a fucking twat, honestly. He's a moron, and his programs are moronic. They literally are just for people who just want to sit in their Wall-E chair and just stuff themselves with a Coke and crisps. It's just, I don't know. But I think we have societally, just as a people, we've become weak. I just can't imagine, if this was happening, if you could transfer, I know I'm not trying to be sexist or whatever, but if you took men from the 20s and you brought them here, they wouldn't be having that shit. If you took men from the 30s or the 40s or the 50s or maybe not the 60s, if you took men from the 80s here, they wouldn't put up with this shit. They'd do something physically themselves to deal with this stuff, Yeah, Ogre definitely looks maxing. Only when you get some plate armor, though. Up until that point, I think it's a... Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's because, as I said, I've got a lot of time during the day, so I do look at a lot of this stuff. Some of the wife says that just don't look at it, because it just makes you depressed. It doesn't make me depressed. It makes me angry sometimes, but I don't get depressed by it. I get frustrated by it. But I said to her that your position is, I don't think is right. Where you're you don't want to be aware because it's not nice. I understand that, but if you're not aware, then it's how can you move to change anything if you're not aware of what's going on? Yeah, there's a north. There's always been a north-south divide in the UK. I don't. I mean, I've never. I know a lot of people from up north and from up south. Some of the poorest areas of the country are in the south of the country. But I do certainly historically, I would say that. Yeah, the north has not been treated as well as London. You say the south, but it's more of a. I mean, I'm from London, but it is more of a London thing. I don't know, mate. Really, I don't know. Like, if I wasn't looking at it, I probably wouldn't have heard of people trying to change stuff. Like, whatever you think about him, whether you think he's a fascist or whatever, people like Rupert Lowe, at least he wants to change stuff. Whether it'll be for the better or not, I don't know. But at least it won't be like what it is at the moment. And going back to what you said, Golden, it's funny you say I'm not sure if it's the same there, but you kind of get like a stereotype of, like in the UK, I would say that we get a stereotype of people from America, certain parts of America. And Alabama, for me, the way it's been Alabama, it's been portrayed, is quite idyllic. Actually, a lot of open spaces, countryside, and everyone's suntan and all that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's not really like that. Particularly if, as you say, you can't get a job. I mean, that's really hard if you're unable to work. But yeah, I don't know much about Alabama though. Like whether it's Democrat or Republican or whatever. You know, it's I mean, I'm sure that I'm 100% sure that we don't get any kind of idea of what really goes on. Even in America, where a lot of like we get some European news and we get a lot of American news, but a lot of the American news is about people with you only get it from a particular view. So you only get the BBC, Sky, ITV, Channel 4. You know, they're the kind of the biggest broadcasters in the UK, I would say, and they're all to varying degrees from mildly to very radically left. So obviously, if there's something, you know, if Trump, I don't know, if Trump cures world hunger, you know, they'll find a way to make it seem bad or whatever. You know, that's the kind of stuff that we get. Anything about Trump or Elon Musk or whatever is always negative. We hear quite a lot about only like particular. I'm not sure what they're called, like senators or something. So the California bloke who Trump always calls names. Like I've heard of him quite a lot. Obviously Robert Kennedy. I like Robert Kennedy because we've got quite a lot of we've got mostly similar views about health. I think certainly with regards to diet and whatnot. Yeah, you kind of get those kind of things, but it's always through the lens of a very left wing. It's always from a very Gavin Newsom. That's him, yeah. From a very left wing lens, you know. So the sort of stuff we get here, it's almost like a parody stuff. So that that Economist interview with Elon Musk that I was talking about the other day, that's the sort of stuff you get here. It's almost like a parody of politics. Like you can't really believe that someone has arranged an interview with the richest man in the world, and these are the questions you're asking him, even if you don't like him. You know, it is that kind of. Yeah, that's hot. Hopefully, it's not as humid there as it is here. Um, Cheap housing's good. That's the most important thing. Cheap housing and food. I mean, I just think to myself, how hard can it be, really? Obviously, the problem in the UK, whether people like it or not, is to do with the amount of people here. There's too many, and it makes everything more expensive. But you know, I don't know. I just think I'm not a big fan of everything being privatised or not really. But you know, there must be a way of a government being able to help or restrict or aid, you know, mortgage prices, rent prices, whatever it may be. It must be. Oh, is it humid as well? That's horrible. I know some Americans have come here and they say to themselves, they say like, why is it 30 degrees? But it feels like it's 60. That's because of the humidity. Like you can't get cool. You know, your body's constantly. Yeah, it's interesting. Like we don't get that. I don't think we've ever had that in the UK, but we've never had that. Obviously, it's always been a Christian country, but we've never had that religious voting kind of block. We've never had that like ever. I don't think. Maybe even back medieval, probably not. I mean, you know, kings like Henry VIII didn't like the church anyway. So yeah, we've never had that block religious voting. Where I live was pretty rural. Yeah, I've just felt that she obviously had her bingo card with all of the, you know, all of the left's like buzz phrases and buzzwords. And she seemed to glory in it, didn't she? Like she actually couldn't wait to get it. I guess in America, if there was a back and forth between Catholic and Christian, I guess that probably would have been because of, I guess, probably like Spanish influence and French influence and Italian influence up against, I guess, like British and German influence, etc. I guess that must be where it originated. Oh, okay. I really like him. I can understand why people find it difficult to listen to him, because he's like what they call one of those like uber high performing kind of like autists, isn't he? Like sometimes what I like about him is he really, oh yeah. Yeah, this was Mary, yeah. But I think that's the thing, though. It doesn't matter what he says or even what he does. Really, it's like, I mean, I've heard him say a number of times is that he's like his goal. I mean, I haven't seen him talk about the Mars thing particularly recently, but I've seen him talk about the fact that like he's got all these ideas that could essentially like end poverty or whatever, like using AI and all different technologies. But people are just not interested in that, you know. The sad thing is that some people just don't like him because he's a white bloke who's very rich. I think the rudeness, I'm not sure. I think it maybe comes from his autism. I think the way people talk to him as well. I mean, if it was me, to be honest, I mean that woman, I'd have called her all sorts of names if it was me. I thought he was quite reserved, actually. Her ears would have been burning when I left the studio. That's for sure. I don't know, Liz. Actually, no idea. I've got 19 points. I don't even know really what to spend them on. Oh, is it actually? I don't know about that. I think that's maybe Trump is, but I don't think Musk is, honestly. Really. I mean, I follow him on Twitter, and I watch a lot of his interviews and stuff. And I don't think I've ever seen him say anything you would. I mean, I've never even really heard him say anything that you would consider racist or misogynistic. Really, the weakness that he's got, and everyone on social media has got it, is that sometimes he'll repost something, and it turns out not to be true. But everyone does that. Like he'll just react post something, you know, and it turns out that it wasn't true or wasn't quite true. But I think we all do that. Oh shit! I didn't want to store those. What the hell did I want to store those for? I think obviously, like everything is kind of taken out of context. Like it was, and obviously, like no one, there isn't any of us who hasn't said anything that's maybe would be classed as not particularly nice in our lives. We've all done that. Obviously, everyone's done that. But it was the same. Elon Musk is the same as Charlie Kirk. You know, where they took a lot of. After he died, they tried to take a lot of what he said out of the context. So they clip a bit that sounded bad, but when you listen to it as a whole, it was almost completely different. Essentially, what he was saying. It was like when they clipped out the Elon doing the Nazi salute, and they just clipped it out, just the salute, and said, "Look, blah blah blah." But when you went back and watched the video, it's obvious what was happening. But then obviously the problem is as well is that then the people that were moaning about it, the celebrities, people went out and clipped all of their side doing the same thing. And then they, without any sense of irony, said that, oh yeah, but that's taken out of context. You've just clipped that out of context. Well, yeah, because that's what you did. You know, it's funny. It is a bit. It is a bit like a. I'm not sure if anyone's ever. I'm sure some of the older Brits have watched Spitting Image, but it was a parody show of everything, celebrity and politics and stuff. Mostly British based, but there was some American as well. And that's where we are. It's like you can't. Like things are so bad you can't parody it anymore because it's become that. It's become Spitting Image. You know. So. And even things like I was talking about Screaming Lord Such, and someone mentioned Bin Face, whatever his name is. That stuff doesn't work anymore because things have become that ridiculous that something ridiculous is not ridiculous anymore because that's how it is. You know, it's like you can't parody it anymore whereas you used to be able to. Yeah, it was just taken out of context, wasn't it? Just to try and prove it was like the thing. It was the thing where they cut a short clip of him walking off and leaving one of his kids behind. And they were saying, look, he doesn't even know where his children are. But the next second of the video was him stopping and looking back and waiting for his kid to catch up. You know, it's like, yeah, that's the thing, right? Because the left, they love disability, don't they? They love your autists and your ADHDs and whatever it is and your whatevers, but only if it's certain people. Not everyone. If you don't follow our ways, then we're not for you, irrespective of what you've got or what you are. It was like when they all turned on that. I think this was in the UK actually, or was it the UK? I can't remember. But the guy with Tourette's, I think he's a singer with Tourette's or something. Everyone loved him, but then his Tourette's got the better of him at an award show, and he said some stuff he shouldn't have said, and suddenly everyone's like, it wasn't really Tourette's. He meant that, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is, isn't he? I mean, I see so much of myself in him, like when I'm with a group of people or talking to anyone, except for my wife and my kids. Anyone, if I don't know anyone, I'm just an absolute wreck. I'm just an absolute anxious wreck. It's like, yeah. Still, the best part of the year is coming up. I'm not sure how the sports calendars work in America, but football does start again soon. As much as I have come to hate football from a political and a financial point of view, like as someone who was brought up on it, like religiously, like I still get excited when the new season starts. I'm from London originally, but now we live in Kent, which used to be called the Garden of England. I'm not quite sure you'd call it that now, but it's still very beautiful. I suppose, like living where you live, I guess the hardest thing that you could probably grasp is how small the UK is, like relatively, I guess. Like I live in Kent, which is reasonably big. We call them counties. I don't know. Like maybe like Kent would probably fit into Alabama about 10 times or something. Probably, you know, it's yeah. The UK is quite a small country, and England's only a part of it. You know, UK's not a country. You know what I mean? I mean, like we're pretty lucky. Like if I go out my front door, It's quite a wide road. It's probably not for America, but it's quite wide. Like the two sides of the street with the houses on are quite far apart. And if you look to the end of the road, end of my road, you got the sea. You got the yeah, you got the North Sea shipping lane. Although it's the southern part of it, but it's the North Sea shipping lane. It's interesting. You get a weird perspective with it. So if you go up at my house and look down, you see boats on the, you see ships on the water. But the perspective is, it looks like they're floating for a start. But also the perspective is they look a lot nearer. But when you get to the end of the road, you get the real perspective of them being as far away as they are. But it's funny, it's really weird. Yeah, I remember going there and saying, that boat, that's really near, that boat. I said to my wife, when we got down there, it was much further away. Yeah, weird perspective thing. Yeah, so, I mean, we're quite lucky. The problem here is a common one, is that over the last 5 to 10 years, like all the green country, all the farmers' fields and all the green spots have just been built on. Houses have been built on. I don't know who's buying them, but yeah, like all of it's going. Like most of the farmers' fields and countryside and stuff is going. Which I mean, considering how terrible farmers are treated, I can't blame them, so definitely can't blame them. Look, guys, I've got to go. Thanks for the chat. It's been really interesting. I know some people watch this back later and go, "Oh, Bob's far right," which is always funny. It's happened to me a couple of times, actually, which is quite weird. I remember once talking about, it was on the Discord, talking about the World Cup that was in Abu Dhabi. And I know people were saying, it's terrible. It's being held there, oppressed their people, and all that kind of stuff. And I wasn't saying that they didn't, but I did say, by that yardstick, there's probably an awful lot of countries who are hosting the World Cup who probably shouldn't be. And they took offence at that, thinking I was supporting Abu Dhabi for holding the World Cup. I didn't care. I don't care who holds the World Cup, to be honest. Although I will say that you Americans, I think you've got it again in 2038 or something. You need to up your game. I know a lot of people who went to the World Cup from Europe, and they said it was great. People were lovely, really friendly, etc., etc., etc. But we don't have ad breaks halfway through the half. We don't have quarters, I don't think. It's as much as it was funny, the Prime Minister shouldn't be probably phoning up the the head of FIFA and telling him to unban this player. Probably shouldn't be doing that, I don't think. I did laugh, but at the same time, saying that though, I'll be very surprised if the World Cup carries on as it is. I mean, you guys in America, I know you don't care, and it's fair enough. It's like soccer. You've never really been a soccer nation, but over the last couple of days, it's come out that Infantino, the evil FIFA villain, FIFA run the World Cup, wants to sell part of the World Cup off to corporations. The European footballing body and the African footballing body, I'm not sure if the Asian one have yet, have come out and said, if you do that, we won't be appearing in the World Cup. So there might not even be a World Cup. Who knows? Yeah, football, I think that's a different, I mean, I see, like, I went for a period of reaction videos. It was like my guilty pleasure, and eventually you get sick of them. But I was watching Americans reacting to British TV and sport, and you get them react to football matches, and I think you do have something equivalent in college football, but they said they can't believe this. It's sport, but it's like a religious experience, and that's what it is. Football for people in Europe predominantly and South America. It is like, we talk about like you grow up in a family that is religious or you only vote for a certain party. Football is like that here. Like you used to, like when I grew up, you used to you grow up, you're born in a part of the country. You've got a local football ground. All of your family supports that team. You have to support that team. Like you have to vote for this party or you have to follow this religion. It is like religion in Europe and South America particularly, I think. But I think you've kind of got, I think college football, like someone said, college football is really like that. Like college football gets more fans than like the NFL or something. I don't know if that's true, but I know that, yeah, I've heard that college football is really big. Yeah, but soccer particularly, like, and cricket, I would say, in the UK. In the UK, in England anyway, and parts of Asia, like cricket is the same. It's quite a religious experience. I think rugby as well, again in the UK and some parts of Europe and Australasia. Again, I think is quite yeah. What I'm going to use for a log out is I'm going to use my lesser evacuate, which I think takes me back to the entrance to the zone. Well, that sounds like a nuke, but I don't think it is. I think what it does, it takes me back to the entrance of the dungeon, but I'm not in my instance anymore, I don't think. There's a really weird thing in is this my instance? It might be. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. There's a really weird thing in Befallen where when you come into the zone, the normal one, there's just always loads of people sitting at the entrance. I don't know what they're doing. Are they AFK or what? I'm going to go AFK here. That's weird. It's weird. Yeah. We'll do it now because it's my instance, But yeah, weird. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. No, actually, genuinely, thank you. I do like a good old chat about stuff. Everquest and politics. It's the two best things to talk about, I think, probably. As I said, it'd be funny for people listening to it later on, what their reactions are. You're going to vote for who? Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Saturday tomorrow. I probably won't stream over the weekend unless I've got... oh, yeah, someone asked me that earlier on, actually. I'm on Eridin, one of the EU servers. There's two EU servers, and they both seem to be quite low population. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's because a lot of Europeans are playing on American servers to be with their guilds and stuff, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, I'm on Eridin. I might make another dude on the other Euro server, or maybe like one of the bigger. Like if there's an American server that a lot of you are on, like maybe I'll make a character on there as well, just for a laugh. Yeah, because we've got plenty of time. I mean, as I said, I've reached a point with EverQuest Legends where that I haven't had before, where when I'm not playing the game, I'm kind of thinking about it or I'm reading about it. Yeah, it's I'm properly addicted at the moment. And then we've got plenty of time. I mean, I think the roadmap showed that QNARC's maybe going to come out around Christmas time. So we've still got like 5 months or something, 4 months faffing around to get where we want. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll speak to you probably. Yeah, someone mentioned that. I don't know if it's required though, really. I mean, someone said they were talking about that yesterday in chat, and someone said like why it's primarily aimed at solo, which I kind of agree with. But someone then did say, well, like I kind of want to, I still want a group, so maybe they'll merge. I think the problem is I guess if they're low enough population, it doesn't matter. But if you get too many instances being created, that's when you seem to get a problem. I think they can deal obviously with thousands of instances, but it could be a problem if your population is then too high. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I've got to go and do some stuff, and I'll probably be back streaming on Monday. By then, I'll definitely have had the wizard stuff done, and I'd have started leveling my proper trio, which was going to be warrior, cleric, enchanter. But I'm not feeling the cleric. I just find it. I found it a bit boring on P99 as well. I understand it really fits a role, but you know, I'll probably go warrior, shaman, enchanter. Then I can do the shaman epic sooner than rather than later. And then my second, I don't know if I have a second trio, but I'd like to level a Shadow Knight before the epics come out as well, because I want to do that epic. I want to be an ogre with a big Shadow Knight epic, which I think would be cool. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll